Welcome, welcome, welcome. 14 eyeballs, 14 sets of eyeballs, as Hammerhand would say. 17 now. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Channel 1800, Megatron, Harshit from India. Well, this is a very interesting discussion, and I'm right when I say this. You know, it's funny. Why do I think that dating and relationship market will never, ever, ever be the same again? Nothing will change it. People say, oh, geez, if there's an economic war, if there's a catastrophe of gigantic proportions, if there is World War Trace, what have you, right? Old Man Odin, good to see you, Redneck Red Pill. These relationships are going to get back to where they were 200 years ago. The woman is going to be the co-pilot, the man's going to be the pilot, they're going to stick together and so forth. Temporarily. The reason that dating and the relationship market will never be normal again is because of programming. First and foremost, programming by the hive mind, by feministic tendencies, which is ism, by communism, by everything that you can think of, liberalism, by technology. It's never going back. No matter what happens in this world, it might be temporarily possible, but it's never going back to the way it was ever again normal. Women will probably seek strong men if there was a wartime situation. But once that war is over, they're still going to be on their phones, guys. It's not going to stop. It's not going to change. The court systems is not miraculously going to make every man, the head of the house when they're going through divorce or marriage or what have you. And that's the reality. Programming in the hive mind has made it so that we are no longer able to ever return back to a normal state of relationship, dating, marriage. It's over. That's the cold hard truth. You're dealing with programming. D-Man 50, my wrench is here. Good day, gents. Still working. Good to have you. And sometimes I do some of these live streams just because for our European brethren, those that are 8 hours ahead of us, if not more. The Unstoppable Force, do you recommend getting a mortgage? Right now, rates are very high. Well, they're not bad. When I first bought my house, our rate was 9.2, and we bought a half a point down back in 1999. 1997 is when we bought it. I think they're still good, but the amount that house prices are so expensive now that affording what you could afford a year ago are completely different. So it depends on how much debt you want. If you're going to stay there forever, if you're going to, have land or whatnot. But I'd be cautious. I probably wouldn't do it right now. Old Christian Henny's back. Yes, correct. Rent is dead money. It depends on your situation. It does depend. Yeah. There's always an exception to every rule. They say go and buy a house. It's the American dream. It's what you want to build assets and so forth, which is fine. There's something about ownership that's fun, but there's also a lot of duties and responsibilities with home ownership. I had my heater go out, a 4-year-old furnace heater, and luckily I just had to pay for the part, but geez, those are expensive as well. Megatron says, a woman will only slow you down with your eyes on your prize. Attaboy. We got Polska back. delivering flowers out in Chicago. Get a burger today, Bob. We live in a day and age where women document themselves nonstop while achieving absolutely nothing. Europe. Again, how are you going to change the programming of a modern day woman? And most modern day males are also weak. They're technology driven. They're constantly on their phone. Guilty as charged sometimes. I deal with I do a lot of email on my phone and watch good content, although I do take time to get away from it as well. But we are all in some form or fashion tethered to our technology, and we have to figure out a way to get past it. We watch a lot of shows. Is it any irony that society is moving towards a complete screen life? Video games, Netflix, internet, YouTube, phones in your hand. I mean, is it any? It's almost as though the subconscious programming of all of us together is literally causing the decay of all humankind, and especially relationships. And that's what we're talking about today. Megatron says, brother Rad, keep your wallet full. Keep your wallet full. Well said. I leave now if I've been thinking about a burger like all week. Rad, you never get your house back, which is taken away from you. You never got, well, we sold the house. We sold the house and split the profits, the proceeds 50-50. And then I went and bought my house and she bought her house and so forth. But a lot of guys lose their house, right? A lot of guys go through this and they lose their house. Europe says dating and marriage will never change. One big problem is the feminism programming and the simps who obey women like gods. I've heard about that gal. She earned $1 million in 6 hours on OnlyFans. Yes, I've heard about her. Not your role model. not a role model. Any woman that acts like her is just not anything. It's just disgusting. And that's the modern day world we live in. A woman can go on a screen and make $1 million in 6 hours with filth coming out every pore of her body, out of her mouth, using fishing tackle in her nose, in her eyelids, in her ears, painting herself like a canvas with the most wacky types of paints, and acting like a non-feminine woman. It's as simple as that. A feminine woman guards her virtue. Simple as that. A non-feminine woman or a masculine woman doesn't really care about virtue. Gone are the days when you had to court. Remember the word court? Court a woman. Those don't exist. Answer is not getting involved in TikTok as the world has gone nuts. Exactly. I'm sure during the caveman days, women still complain about another female having a better cave and better fur clothing. Absolutely, Stephen. I think this goes back to the days of Adam and Eve, or the beginning of mankind. Women had to protect their kids from the other women of the tribe. They always sought the biggest, strongest, most protective and provider of the group, and they fought for them. This is no different than it was 1,000 years ago. Female brain and male brain are very similar as they've been for we've been similar in terms of our biology. Male brain 1,000 years ago, I don't think it's changed much till today. It's probably changed more in the last 50 years because of the simping and womanism and the courts. But other than that, we're biologically very similar to the beginning of man, as well as women. And do we hate it? No, we just understand it. Who says, Father Saunders lost 2 houses? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Europe says, my point is the simps are liking every photo on Instagram, paying money, doing everything like it's a religion. Yes. And they're definitely causing the acceleration of this, of the society. AZ's back. Good to see you, brother. Singletown Bachelors. There we go. We got one of our European brothers. Check out Singletown's, his channel. Glad to see AZ could make it. Dating and marriage will not change because every woman loves attention and got all the apps for attention. No matter if she is married or not, she needs to get the good morning sweetheart from the simps. Yes, I know many men that send the emojis. I'm more worrying on young men as they are trying to be female and act girly. Worst part is that now Obama has given blank rights. Yes. Yes. Yes, they have. Gary Pill says, what's up, Rad? At least with some of the tech and video games, it's a simple way to entertain without spending money on these 304s. Yeah, I'm not against video games. I play Super Mario Brothers and Excitebike and Pac-Man and Asteroids, but I don't even know how to run a controller today. But I'm saying if you do that all day long, it's not a good thing. If you watch YouTubes all day long, it's not a good thing. Moderation is the key. John Boston, the legendary John Boston is in the house. Wow, a midday chat, says John. I can't imagine what your friend's thinking right now. He's still in love with the heavy. Good to see John. Polska says, your little sister's birthday. Oh, condolences to your brother-in-law, brother. Man, that is sad. Polska's brother-in-law passed away. The SD, the crowdsourced male wisdom on your live streams always inspires. SD, thanks, brother. Well, we need everybody here, including yourself. Commenting, sharing, talking about life. We want to keep men out of another bad contract. And there's no good contracts today. Or there's 1% are good contracts. But even those you have to vet. Even those you still have to look out. Dashing Dane, let's see. We suffer if we think social media is a means to gauge the value of ladies. What would there be without the internet today? Gone are the days when I grew up. I feel bad for the kids today, the young ones. I heard that Jimmy Kimmel and the rest of LA are getting stressed as more poverty increasing since the 80s and 90s. They're going to have to run to their homes in Calabasas, California. That's what they're going to have to do, get away. But are they giving any of their money to build plantations and compounds for these people? Nope. Happy birthday, Bobby. I know your situation. T-Tox is back. I just love how monk mode fixes most of these relationship problems. The older you get, the easier it gets to go monk, my brothers. Yeah, and you realize the delusion, especially when you start hitting your 40s and you just see that you're not getting ahead by dating another 40-year-old. Rather, a friend of mine who married a 300-pounder is a simp who's allowing these mastodons to find a man. There are the colonels in the simp army. They are armies of simps. They're all Green Berets, too. They're the Rambo of the simp army. I wish I could play Tabula Rasa. Tabula Rasa. Singletown Bachelor. For a real man, respect is everything. I've seen a lot of TV shows where the woman is intelligent, the man is always the stupid one. Well, you're absolutely right, the programming. Look at Homer Simpson. Look at Family Guy. Always look to be goofball. Most of the commercials are meant to make the guy look like an idiot. You're absolutely right. I'm a fan of shoot-me-ups, but I don't get high on the dopamine or even the fear factor. Megatron84. Rad, any thoughts on Epstein? Let's just say his tentacles extend in all areas and corners of society. Female nature to me is quite clear to me now, thanks to you and the Red Pill. I'm curious about what you think, how female nature plays out in homo couples. Well, I think there's always a masculine and a feminine part, both in the alternative lifestyles. Talking and keeping strags out of the conversation. Monk mode, even intermittently, is a helpful way to stay out of the Ponzi scheme. Well said, brother. To all brothers in the chat, don't believe these TikToks or YouTube shorts. They show perfect families and couples, so you feel like a loser. I agree with that statement, Europe. Don't look at that stuff as some sort of validation that everyone's happy. Yeah, condolences, brother. He's a young guy, too. Primal Studies is back. A woman's money is her money. Your money is yours and her money. That's how it works, guys. I was there and married. T-Tox is 60. So Monk is easy peasy. When you don't have the frustration and the pressure of dealing with a counterpart, life is easy, as T-Tox says. The Forever Bachelor is back. Thousands of women over the age of 47 are flocking to Scottsdale to restart their lives and find her soulmate. Most are flat broke. Most are flat broke. Look at Ted Bundy, how did you guys watch that Netflix series? It was very interesting. Rad, did you catch Yita's video on the stunning and brave sniper? And I did not. I'll have to check that out, brother. In these dark times, TV shows like Judge Judy claim that the system is for people when it works for the rich and clueless bimbos. Just look at the divorce. Remember, the majority of women, I'm going to say 98%, is this. Women want perfection. And the moment they don't get perfection in a marriage or a relationship, they seek alternatives or people to enforce that perfection, hence the authorities. Patriots One is back. The African village girls have smartphones, so traditional, absolutely. Their relationships are effed up too. Married with children is all they need to enlighten us. Al Bundy, that's what you meant, Al Bundy. The problem is also modern women are career women. If a woman works, she's in her masculine energy. So she wants a man who is in his feminine. Yeah, exactly. And it won't work that way. Men are supposed to be masculine and women are supposed to be feminine. I don't understand why it's so hard for this world to figure that out. Men have becoming more and more weak, meaning they become more and more effeminate, whereas women are becoming stronger and stronger and more independent, which is becoming more masculine. Everything's flipped. It's like driving a car upside down. A man's power is finding his purpose, not a woman, says Rich. You're well said, brother. Well said. Good to have you. If you're not monk yet, keep dating. You will get there. I had a 45-year-old tell me she knows her worth and she is not settling for 300 Trebek. I keep hearing this from all women these days. Must be in a book. They're reading something, Oprah. It's probably some Oprah show. Did you guys hear that Ukraine girls are now pushing for new? They want to come over. They want to be passport folks. Christian Henny. I'm a Chad and I've seen women don't care about looks, height, weight. If you got money, that it is so. They can use you like a sim and getting pumped. Absolutely. Sure. It's everywhere. I read that Jeff Bezos' former wife just got a second divorce. Interesting how, well, again, he didn't make enough money. I mean, that was all status play anyways. She thought going liberal with a teacher would fix her marriage. Really? No. You can't go down if you're a billionaire woman and marry a guy that makes $60,000 a year. You just can't do it. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. Nor would a woman that is with a man that makes $100,000 a year go with a guy that makes less. I find that as closer I get to 40, my value continues to increase. Can't say the same for my similar aged female counterparts. Well, Primal, I think you're absolutely spot on with that. The most blind Ponzi schemes, the Slutty Sister consensus. Stay clear of the overt 304s or halfway harlots. Well said, AZ. My male cousin in Italy refused to marry. They live with women, and if they have kids, they don't marry. The laws are stacked against them worse than the US of A. They got the memo, John. Rad, all those couples who show how happy they are like the Oshlamas. Are they all pretending? Of course. Of course they are. Rad, guys, Sweden police, female 5 cops could not take down that guy. Yep, I saw that. A masculine woman would make us, by definition, attracted to the GAY. You ain't got no alibi. They don't seem to get it. No, they don't. Remember, these folks are sprinting, but life is a marathon. Well said, brother. John Boston, I'll take B. Leslie's for 300 Trebek. Teddy Boy Smith from the UK is back. Old Man Odin says, value your peace and solitude, truly a treasure. All right, Bob, hang in there. Fine wine, milk, women, primal. Sour milk. Fine wine is how men age. Sour milk is how women age, apparently. MGTOWs run their own race in life. Leave the dating and LTRs for the simps. Modern women can't pair bond because of their high body counts, and a big problem, 98% of women are narcissistic in cluster B. Can't build a family with that. I know this guy who voted for Biden, all he does is talk about climate change. I said to him, women like Pocahontas would love you. Oh, I can't stand her either. Christian Henny says, it's all fake, folks. TV shows are a joke. Even Oshlama won't give decent men rights. Let that sink in again. Now, guys, it's not going back. Don't kid yourself. I mentioned on here before, my coworker adopted a Ukrainian smoke show through a dating app. She got a fast track emergency visa. It's working so far. But we know how it'll end. Ukrainian wife ending for 300 Trebek. Well said, Stephen. He was a college professor. Yes, he was. Who's she going to get? I guarantee she gets with a thug next. Some thug is going to be knocking that because he wants the dough. Where's his relationship going? I'm just trying to have a good time. Slam Cave is back. Check out Slam Cave's channel. Good to see you. If she drives a car, walks and talks like a man and thinks she is the prize, what a clown show. Correct? Teddy says, I think there are early signs that some women want to be more traditional and men to be more masculine. Exactly. That's why they're canceling Mr. Andrew. With that comment, 98% clusters and narcs. Eve was the mother of women. Once she became corrupted, it was all over for women. And if we go one step prior, we would look at Lilith, who did not submit to Adam. Even sitcoms have gone in the woke and more likely to avoid. Yes. And that's the deal, guys. We cannot fix the programming that has happened. That is why dating and relationships are dead. And if people get married, they will soon be divorced. Soon be divorced. I remember telling this gal that I had dated when I first got divorced. Her daughter has got fishing tackle in her face, tattoos, all this crap. I said, your daughter will be divorced. Don't say that. I go, look at the example her parents set for her. You divorced your husband. They're going to be divorced. It's simple as that. I'm sorry to be the barrel of bad news. Shout out to Donnie Baker. Oh, Christian Henny says, fun fact, Ruski Mafia or bad boys would sexually blank turn them into women talk about Stockholm Syndrome. I won't say it all, but I think you're probably right. I will take Bozo's ex-wife will be dating Tyrone for 300 Trebek. She'll be dating like Lil Gangsta or Lil Baby. There you go. Islam is the answer to the West problem. More and more men are turning. Well, even I've heard even women of those countries are finding out Western culture through their phones. Polska says their software has been corrupted, Air 404, and the blue screen of death. That's really what's happened to modern day female and modern day male dating. It's the blue screen of death. He is absolutely right, Christian Henny. The dating has always been normal. That is normalized for men who believe they can vet these folks. When these fellas are weaponized to mess men's lives. One by one. Alternatives are probably just as blank, dysfunctional, and dissatisfied as straight ladies. Oh, absolutely. Guys, most of those couples that you see, there's a masculine counter and a feminine counterpart. Women that are in the alternative lifestyle, that are the feminine ones, seek a masculine woman. It's no different than in women seeking masculine men. There is you can't have two feminines, you can't have two masculines. The Fresh Prince of Nigeria is back. I broke up with, wanted closure, kept trying to get me to come over to her apartment. I decided to meet her at a local cafe. I never heard from her again. Absolutely a trap. Good for you. And good for you for getting out of that situation. Good to have you. There's no privacy anymore in every situation. Modern women document everything. They document their gym time. Harshit says words like narcissist, BPD have gained so much currency. I never heard of those words like 10 years ago. They have become buzzwords. Absolutely. Just when you think Biden can't get any worse, just give it 24 hours and their failures never cease to amaze you. The news has been pure gold. It is a clown show. It is idiocracy for 300. Biden flavor. Damn right. Jeff Bezos' ex-wife will start dating dwarves like tattoo on left boat. The plane. I see the plane, boss. All the software is corrupted, and that is why it's not going back. What you guys are saying is absolutely right. The software is corrupted. It's never going back. Sorry. Quit trying to make it work. Quit trying to say the more money you have, the better looks you have, the cooler you are. The more frame you hold is going to get these gals back in line to be great, wonderful co-pilot wives that will make your life amazing. Bull, shizzle, shizzle. A lot of white men are starting to look at Muslim women, their traditional submissive version. I think that is the last bastion, but I think that we're seeing infiltration of Western ideas into their minds. Biggest red flag are Arab women from the East. They love money. I was married with 2 Arabic women. They love money, but act submissive. There you go, guys. Ask Europe. I think FJT's got a couple of those as well. Channel 1800. I'm going to agree with that statement. Can you imagine a lesbian divorce in front of a judge? I wonder how that goes. In the old days, 1911s, Sluts or Russia were looked down as bums. Let that sink in. Yeah? Yeah. Brad, I was talking to this woman, we were laughing, and she goes in this rant, and then she tells me she is crazy. I didn't laugh. I was like, oh no, get out of here. That was your spidey senses, Legendary John, going off. Get away from me. Tattoo was my favorite on Fantasy Live. That was a creepy show. Women have always been what they are. We have been socially engineered. They can play ball with us when they can hardly catch. You're absolutely right, AZ. Ghost Pirate is back. Good to see you. Check out Ghost Pirate. Adam is back. Is female nature or is it feminine? I think it's more. You're gonna look without. Let's say, remove feminism, technology, hive mind, Oprah. You're still gonna get female nature, right? Make America great again for 300. Trebek. Modern women become narcs because of the delusional attention every day by the simps. Well, you laid it down to Chinatown right there. Bezos is a bozo, beta bozos. He's on testosterone too. Cytalone 801 is back. Good to see you. When the Ukraine war is over, the USA will betray Zelensky. Trust me, Rad, they did that before. Sure. Chris Mitchell, the Emperor's back. Check out Chris's channel. Good to see you, brother. That's not right. Parents from Muslim family will give his daughter if you have a lot of money. Again, you're dealing with female nature. It doesn't matter what your race, religion, or area of the world you live. Legal and regulated prostitution at all state and federal levels can change the sexual marketplace and give more men leverage, says Bupo. I agree with that statement. Good to have you, and tell me where you are from. The EOC in the house. I've spent a lot of time in the Middle East, living and working in Kuwait and Dubai, dated several Arab women, and they were the freakiest I have ever been with. Interesting. You know, they play the good girl, but behind that door, they get out of their traditional outfits. What do you think the mindset is of women with kids that leaves their husband for another guy with kids? Makes no sense. It's called Gary Pill. It's called delusion for 200. It's going to be worse than the guy that she left, than the father of her kids. Elon Musk is getting old and trendy. Tesla shares, including your view. Well, you know, people don't like Elon because he's kind of standing up in his own way, right? It's not about the religion. I'm talking about the personality of 98% of Arab family. It has nothing to do with Islam. It's all transactional. I would agree with that statement. I thought you can prostitute as a woman, but it's illegal to pay for it as a man. Well, they can't make money off of it. That's the problem. They can make money off divorce, though, right? Don't most men get divorce? I mean, that the courts are in business because of marriage and divorce, so they can't make money off prostitution. It goes to the brothels. Date and invest in these fee-fells. Delusion for 800. Well said, AZ. We got here. I hope Putin wins. One of those guys. I wouldn't bet against Russia. They've been winning wars for 500 years. Upo, SLC is a very underrated city. I like the mountains of Salt Lake, Bupo. Could you imagine Bezos ex-wife dating Michael Vick or Pac-Man Jones? Attaboy. That'd be funny. Oklahoma City. The Sooners for 300, Trebek. I know this woman with 2 kids who was marrying a felon with 2 kids. Oh, what no surprise. Now they're having a child together. Her ex is still in jail. What can go wrong here? I know someone that was divorced, had 2 kids, got with a meth guy. Now he's in prison. He had a kid with her, ex-cheerleader. It's just like, you can write the stories of women that get divorced or are broken up or are single mother. You can write the stories. We don't have to even look at anything. You could say, oh yeah, she divorced her husband with 2 kids. She remarried. I'll tell you the ending right now. You don't even have to wait for the ending. I'll tell you what happens. Man is last. Man will try. Man cannot be the father. Women will get upset, bored, monkey branch. Hi, Rad. From Ireland here, dating apps flooded with 30-something single moms. Some even have very small babies, few months old, and are looking for a stepdaddy. Good to have you, Rom Films. Would love to visit Ireland someday. Never been. But I think Guinness is a national hero in Ireland. It's over here too. You know, it's unfortunate that women think that they're women think that they're I don't know if women, no, I'm going to say, I believe that women today, regardless of what they look like, how fat they are, how ugly they are, how many men they've had, how many kids they had, the single status of their motherhood, apparently to most of these gals is a value. Like it's extreme value if they're one of them. You know who makes that happen? Simps. Escorts have their place in society, that's for sure. Don't date single mom. She wants your money and support. Exactly. You'll be last again. Guys, the kids come first. Actually, the attention comes first, then the kids. The most play I ever got was when I didn't care about the outcome, but the true nature always came out in the end, says Slam Cave. Well said, brother. Well said. Get ready for some rain. Rom Films. Not much made. It's been raining for the past 3 days, and it's going to be raining for the next 4. We've had a ton of rain, 2 inches of rain. It's everywhere. California, you name it. Harp beer from Ireland. Isn't Harp Guinness? Stepdaddy means I need an ultra simp who pays my bills and he's got nothing to say. Well said, Europe. To date a lady these days is like paying for hope for a lay and invest in potential disappointment. In the end, they always get what they want, validation from you. You know what else? A lot of gals apparently love to tell men no. So they keep chasing them for the peace leave. People ask what you do for a living or just trying to figure out what you think you are worth. Yes, a lot of women ask what men do. They want to know. Modern women want a man to provide for their Instagram lifestyle. Just saw another gal the other day taking a picture with some simp outside of a grocery store to put on her stupid. It's the delusion is everywhere. John Boston. I gave him a traditional African-American name, OJ. MSM gassed up the single mama's head too. They're making their marketing strategy since they are hands down the biggest consumers. Well said, Ghost. Jawara is back. Author of 27 books. Good to see Jawara. Put your money under your mattress. The biggest aphrodisiac for a female is a man's indifference towards her. Drives them nuts. 100%. 100%. Oh, salt. Who we got here? We got a salty. John Boston says, did I miss someone? John Boston says, Salty Cracker had a hilarious show about Ellen showing mud behind her house and says it's climate change. Too much rain, too little rain. It's all climate change for 300. It's true, women do not reciprocate feelings. In fact, she sees you as less attractive the more you give of yourself. Well said, Adam. Young Peasy is back. Good to see you, Young Peasy. If she is divorced, it happened for a reason. Talk to her ex-man. You'll never hear the real story. You're absolutely right. It's all the same story with these gals. I divorced my husband. Say it, everybody, because he was abusive and controlling and abusive. How many times I've heard that? I love women so much. I want them to be happy. I just don't want their money, nor they take mine. We love women. Women are beautiful women. I mean, come on. But you got to know what you're tangling with. I cannot use MSN as a search engine. It's all anti-Trump and anti-men nonsense. Same with Yahoo. He is a good brother, but if I leave for work next week, he'll definitely not be happy. Chris Mitch, I don't know. I read something. It's probably an internal conversation. They're all the same women, but by the time you find out, it's usually too late. I've dated chicks from the burbs, the trailer park, the hood, the barrio, and the res, and they're all the same. Well said. Peace leave is great, but post-nut clarity is better. is terrible, painful for me. Keep chasing it, bros. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Once that post-net clarity pops in, it makes you rethink your act, the event. Jeremiah is wasting money. I don't know. I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm trying to take a break away, but he's fascinating to listen to what he says. Do I believe it? Who knows? Never let a woman get in your sight. Never forget you are always the leader. Well said, Surf Shack. Good to see you, brother. Post-net clarity is abusive. Winter, spring, summer, fall, climate change, they are psychotic. Couldn't agree more. Patriots won. The win-to-lose ratio in today's dating seems like no worth. It's not worth to invest. You don't get ROI. That's what happens. I won't say biblical names in front stage anymore, brother. We are under attack. Shout out to Chris Mitchell's channel as well. Rad, did you hear about that woman here in Boston who was missing 3 kids? It's really sad. Is that the one? I think so. I think there's a mother, right? She's gone missing. You're abusive when you close your wallet. Well said, Singletown Bachelor. I was. Controlling and abusive. But if we open our wallets, they'll take us into debt. They'll go buy something we don't need. We're just more prudent than abusive. Prudent and then abusive. And anyone ever notice the only answer to climate change is more taxes and regulation? Ha! How convenient, Ghost. Modern women love their smartphones more than their man. Correct. If you take her smartphone, she will act like she has demons. Couldn't agree more, brother. Indeed, Runaway Even Church supports the Skittles movement. Yes, they do. AI is going to replace jobs. Same with robots. Going to get more difficult for strong, independent women. Correct? We must come prepared for the climate change. No outside interferences, says Megatron. Nobody is better than anyone else based upon money, education, and so on. You may be better off than me, but I will never view you as being better than me. Never. I would agree with that statement, man. Chris, our favorite lumber trader up in Canada. Hope you're doing well. I'll be staying single for life. That's not a bad way to live, my man, especially with the kind of the cash you're making up there. Good to see you. It's been a while. The church is compromised and feminist, has been for many decades, but you may still be Christian if so inclined. Oh, yeah. Most women hide behind that Bible and that Christian badge of honor. Yes, the mother who's missing, it's a sad story. Maybe she wanted out of the marriage and the guy lost it. Well, I told you that story about the people I lived with, some friends down the street back in Oregon. The 2 kids, a few discarded husbands went hockey last time. Easy. The 2 kids were the youngest had just gone to college. She was a teacher. Actually, one of my kids hung out with one of their kids. She was a teacher, second grade teacher. She just lost all this weight, was going to leave the husband. He was a heavier guy, engineer, accountant, deleted her in the middle of the day, dragged her out on the lawn, and then went around to all the cars in the neighborhood, put a little Post-it note on each car saying, if I can't have her, no one can. And then he went in and deleted himself. We knew these people very well. For 13 years, we knew them. Craziest thing in the world. Climate change is a complete tool of the left. Well said, Slam Cave. Well said, Europe. RPM, the most notorious creator for HMT. There you go. I think everyone that's in here that contributes is saving somebody, including yourself. Singletown Bachelor left the Danish church. The churches are becoming Skittles. It's as simple as that. Most of them. The best way we can help each other is to participate, comment, make videos. Religions are blue pill. Yes, they are, Adam. David Capitelli says, I love women. I'm not looking for their 401 or their pensions, and I don't want them looking for mine. Jim Morrison said, girl, you got to love your man. Take him by the hand. Make him understand. Well said, David. Good to have you. Tell me where you are from. Feminism changed every law worldwide, so men can't marry anymore. Passport bros are so stupid. I did a video on the passport bros, and it's not recommended how they're living. I told you, if you want to go to a different country and you hook up with someone in your resort, another fellow woman traveler, you do not hook up with a local. I don't feel bad for, well, it's interesting. I mean, some men can't handle it, but you can still follow him. I do not think he would be happy with the church these days. I don't think a lot of guys are happy with how churches are. Rad, in your opinion, do you think if things get really scarce for women in the near future, things will end up going full circle and some feminine tradition? No, Lee, that's why I did this. No, I don't believe it, because the programming is too deep. It's too built into the psyche of modern day women. What'll happen is they'll get in line temporarily, but their attitude will still be there, and the programming is still there. So once that war and issue is over, they're back to where they were prior. I went to engineering school coming out of a high school where there were so many women. When I was in engineering school, there were just a few women, and the Simpre back then was horrific. I got to see that, John. That would have been interesting. They are Skittles, Megatron. Don't condone it, but I understand the fact that these females can leave a man, cheat on him, and then drag him down the court and extract his resources. You know what? I'm just surprised that more men are not going crazy and taking out certain people in the courts. Never finance a woman's lifestyle. Don't let her looks turn you into a sucker. Well said. People promote Al Bundy on Netflix, yet Ted Bundy, yet they forget what the divorce courts created these creeps. A lot of them. Rhode Island for 300, Trebek. John Boston is out by Rhode Island. Don't fight over women and don't be manipulated with sex. 3 guys I knew went to Thailand and brought the women back to the U.S. They're now divorced, and these women, they are living in the U.S. with other men. Don't feed the bears. Good advice from John Boston. Consequences and accountability for 300, Trebek. I saw a special on Ted Kaczynski. I saw that. We saw that show. Very interesting. You guys should watch it. I believe in God, but organized religion is a cult. I believe in a higher power myself. Slam. Certain people in the courts, I may not have a few names on. I'm just surprised, Ghost, that there's none, that some of these guys continue to live. You've heard of those stories where someone's deleted. All have tiny hats. There you go. But it's very low. You'd think more men who lost it would just go nuts. The less attachment you have to women, the more freedom and happiness you will have. Well said. I go with Jesus, but not attending church. I don't think Jesus attended church. He walked around, told people they could be happy. It's bad that the Matrix actors, including Keanu, joined these SJWs. Yeah, well, they're going along with the agenda and the narrative. That's how they keep their jobs. I've suffered from one-itis, and the cure for me was realizing how hard they hit the wall face first and become disgusting. Guys, take care of yourself mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, and emotionally, and your life will go well. Indifference is better than revenge, 100%. I was at a bar, older woman from another state was on a business trip, and at the bar drinking. Ooh, what a surprise. She emphasized that her boyfriend wasn't with her, only her dog. She wanted a little adult playtime with Bupo in Oklahoma City. Don't date single mother boys if they can't stay with the father of their own. What chance do you have? Well said, Chris. You are disposable to the modern women. They are for the streets. Exactly. What chance do you have who is not the father of their kids to make it better? None, thank you. And be done and cut. What was your favorite skate deck back in the day? Nodus, Santa Monica Airlines. I also like the Tommy Guerrero, Pau Peralta with the Flames. Without white knights, feminism would end today. Correct. Well, listen, they would claw themselves before it ends. I got to go, everyone. Good to see you, brother. AZ, stay unmarried. I ran into 4 women I knew years ago. They each asked me if I remember them. Now that they're over 50. Years ago, they had guys all around them. There you go. If you guys want to hear about the wall, go to your reunion, 30-year reunion. It's because European men are less masculine than ever. Low T is much higher. If they tied the same shit on me, what did they do in the 20s? My T is much higher now. Guys, speaking of T, testosterone. You know, I like to take DHEA, but I've been taking this herb called Tongkat Ali. If anybody can write it up there, I have noticed significant improvements with it. Tongkat Ali, 200 milligrams. Joe Rogan and Andrew Huberman did an episode on it, but it is amazing. So Joara or Jaron Markel, whoever is listening, check it out. John Boston as well. Rad, remember Jennifer Aniston? Oh, I always thought she was attractive. I would have nailed her. I don't think she nailed, though. I think she was that type that just loved looking in the mirror and having people adore her. She was probably horrible in bed. Steak and heavy weights. Absolutely. Has anybody tried the carnivore diet yet? I'm thinking about it. Even my friend, the simp surgeon, can't keep a single mother with 2 big dogs. He's not tall, but when he stands on his wallet, he's really tall. Attaboy. Standing on the wallet. That's it. Channel 1800, Tongkat Ali. And I've been taking the one that's Satoomi, Satoomi. Get it on Amazon, 90 days for $15 or $16. I like the classic red, black, and white Baker logo. Favorite skate deck ever. I have one on my wall. Oh, the old Baker. You're younger than me because Baker was more of a board in the mid to late 90s when they came out. Check it out. Tongkat Ali. Go Google Joe Rogan and Tongkat Ali and watch it. It raises your T by like 60% naturally. I agree at some point I have high testosterone, but the government destroyed me. Modern women can destroy every man with the laws on their side. You know, here's another thing. Think about this. Creatine and meat as well. Absolutely. Good advice. I'll check that. You guys should check out. Carnivore is awesome. Got about 25 pounds of ribeye. I'm thinking about just doing that, but I'm going to go to Mexico in a few weeks. So when I need my chips and salsa. So when I get back, I think I'm going to go at least 30 days and do it. Steak and eggs. And zinc. Well said, channel. 1800. Hi, Rad. Good to see you from Mumbai. Glad you could catch it. I'd rather own a tomcat any day over a woman. Yeah, I guarantee. I mean, I've been in the gym. I've been energy, lots of blood flow. They do say that you can get a little tired with it at first, but my body composition has changed. I can lift more. I bench about, let's see, I did 150 today, and I had no problems doing the reps. Whereas DHEA has been wonderful, and I still take that, but this is definitely helping with that stack. Slam says she should come along for the ride, not be your drill sergeant. Out of bay. Law can't protect him from the consequences of a masculine man with a purpose. Masculinity is now considered dangerous, right? What did James Cameron say? Testosterone is toxic. He needs his ass kicked, I'll tell you that. Yeah, read about it. Go watch the Joe Rogan, Andrew Huberman. Big fan of Andrew Huberman. He actually has a episode he talks about relationships, and the guy was saying the same thing I'm saying. Some well-known PhD dude. Beef, bacon, butter, and eggs wrap. That's what it is, and water. Although I got to get out of my Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew. Yeah, I know it's not good for me, but I'm not a fatalist and everything, right? Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard time. Let's see where feminism ends up when times get tough. Well said, Chris from Canada. All the laws these days against men are also against the natural laws of nature itself, 100%. This is why our world is in such a disarray. Number one, the testosterone is so low in men today, the women have more testosterone. It's completely flipped. It's like driving a car upside down. The only way a car drives upside down if it flips going 60 miles an hour and travels another quarter mile on its roof. That's the only way it goes. It doesn't work. Manu Troy says, one of my friend's wife died. She left him with $50,000. After her death, he bought a $12,000 sports bike 7 days after her death. Interesting. Andrew Tate is right. Yep, I would agree with that statement. James Cameron is a beta male. Well said, Chris. If Cardi B says be for the streets, it's okay. The double standard isn't real. There is no such thing as double standard for our counterpart. It's their standard. Tate is an interesting guy, but at least he's saying some things that need to be said, regardless of what his lifestyle is like, what he does for business. He at least has mentioned that the state of the modern day woman and relationships is a shit show. Of course, masculinity is toxic. It's the only thing that these users really fear, as they should. Once we find our balls, we can uncuck ourselves. Well said, Ghost. It's a very solid statement there. Most women are so obnoxious now they have to resort to cats and dogs for captive company. Well, they get attention, unlimited attention from animals. Why corporations and governments are hell-bent on destroying men with the blue pill. That's how they get money. And they get men to completely finance the lives and the welfare of the counterpart. Women are like cars. They depreciate as soon as potential buyers test drive them. YYJJ. There are some decent women out there. I give it a 1 to 2%. 98% are not recommended for anything. Marriage, cohabitation, and having kids is not recommended. Peace, quiet, and freedom is highly recommended in this world. Dr. Warren Farrell, who wrote The Boy Crisis, says when one sex wins, both sex lose. Correct. Correct, Sam. I've never seen one relationship that doesn't correlate with the red pill. The way it starts is red pill. The way it plays out is red pill. The way it ends is red pill every time. Well, at least, Bupo, it's red pill, what we've learned in red pill. Rod, I wonder if the way they treat Tate is excuse for them to witch hunt all the Crimson. But oh, sure. People know that they want to make people scared. Listen to Dr. John McDougall before starting. Okay. A man who decides what to do after knowing the truth is not a beta male. He is choosing his fate. Why should we save them? I'd agree, Manajoy. Perhaps Rad, but do not forget he isn't changing divorce courts. No. Now, you guys, nothing's going to go back to where it was. The mentality is completely destroyed. Forget about it. The programming is there. The only way it's going back when the next war is fought with sticks and stones in like 1,000 years. And the whole creationalism world turns over again. When nothing's left except there's a new Adam and Eve. That's the only way I think it'll happen. He's very anti-feminist. Yep. Yeah. I mean, he said some things that I've listened to things he says. And about that movement, he's absolutely right. But he's definitely again, I don't follow his business advice or his. I'm fine with what he says about our counterparts' movement in the masculine arena, which is feminism. Only invest what you are ready to lose as patriots. Men create their value. Women are born with it and must preserve their value. Women thinking making money and having a degree makes them hotter. It's sad what the modern woman is being taught, says Chrissy. No man gives a damn about, unless he's a total friggin' bozo and douchebag who sucks off a woman's resources, who is below a simp in my book. We don't care about your degree. We don't care about how much money you have, what kind of car you drive, nothing. What do we care about? What you do for us. Watch the movie Triple R if you want to see the rarely seen masculine in movies. John Wayne movies as well. Modern women are extremely masculine. Every way I stay single, headache, it leads to a headache, yeah. And men are feminine. Let's be real. I wonder what the Greta is thinking about. She's annoying too. Fellas and Rad, has anyone ever seen the video for Iron Maiden, The Writing on the Wall? No, but I've heard the song. Women have value, but the wall is coming. Wall comes for everyone, even men. What men should do instead of chasing women? I'm having a hard time in this arena. You got to focus on yourself. Hobbies, learn a language, learn an instrument, get fit. It sounds like you're fit. Learn to climb a mountain. Learn something new. People who have lived long are single males. Well said. Red pills kept me alive after the trauma of my marriage. Yes, and you have a very interesting story, Slam. Everyone go to Slam's Cave and subscribe. Her, I have a PhD. Me, can it suck my D? Bake a pie. Big Dick Dang is back. Good to see you. Got a notification from YouTube. It's that you made a new video, but then I see you live stream. Good to have you, Big Dick. More men died early in marriage than without marriage. Correct. Women age like stinky milk. Men age like fine wine. Well, there's some men that age horrible as well that don't take care of themselves. Men are made, women's are born. Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of the dynamics, you know. Men seek the beauty of women. They don't really have to do a lot if they take care of themselves in their younger years. You'll like the video Rad and Fellows cartoon on YouTube. I'll check it out. Turn the power off for a month. Let's see if women say they don't need men. Humans tend to revert to gender roles during times of struggle. We need a war bad. Let's see. Women's are human beings. Men are human doing. No, we're all good. I'm going to shut this down, you guys. It's been great to see everyone. I've got to get back to some making some money here. But women with high body count smell. I wouldn't get with a woman with high body count. Not recommended. PH is back. Says feminism said being a good mother and wife was degrading, so they suggested become a single mother and blank instead. Their logic is laughable. Well said. Thanks for everyone being here. This has been great. Let me read two more comments here. I'm surprised there really isn't any businesses or apps for vetting women. Does a background check on them or social media search? I think someone was going to put together a page that talked about, you know, these gals that go and destroy men. I never knew what happened to it. Jimmy says, however you frame LDRs, do not cohabitate. Well said, brother. You guys have been great. Get back to what you're doing. Till next time, rebel against defeat. And remember, it's not going to change back to where it was. I'm out.